Wes Streeting, Hearts for Healthcare, but bids start at $9.99. Tonight on Nubian Narrator News, we continue our deep dive into the blandly terrifying brigade known as Keir Starmer's cabinet, aka the Beige Avengers. And today's episode is sponsored by Conflict of Interest, because we're talking about the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care himself, Wes Streeting, a man who says he loves the NHS, but that love is starting to feel a lot like a toxic situationship. He says he's saving it, but somehow, every time he speaks, the NHS ends up in someone else's bank account. From the block to the block. Let's start with the backstory, because on paper, Wes Streeting is Labour's diversity rom-com fantasy. Raised in a council flat, son of a single teenage mum, gay, state school educated, all the ingredients for someone who might genuinely shake the table. But fast forward to 2025, and instead of flipping the table, Wes is refurbishing it with high-gloss neoliberalism and handing it over to Virgin Care with a smile. Receipts, MP for Ilford North since 2015, former National Union of Students president, rose through Labour ranks as a Blairite golden boy, positioned himself as pragmatic, realistic and modern, code for pro-corporate. You'd think a working-class lad from Stepney would be guarding the NHS like it was his nan's last bottle of Lucozade. Instead, he's franchising it like it's a Nando's. The NHS hustle begins. Now let's talk receipts, because Wes is wasting no time. The man just took office and already he's out here saying the quiet part loud. The private sector will be essential to delivering Labour's NHS plans. Excuse me? You get elected on the back of public outrage over privatisation, and your first act is to outsource the cure? Receipts. Streeting told BBC Radio 4 the NHS cannot survive in its current form, pledged to increase use of private sector for diagnostics, surgeries and backlog clearance. Suggested Labour would be unashamed about private healthcare partnerships. Wes calls it realism, but it's only realistic if you've spent more time at Davos than A&E. Who's paying for this? Now let's talk about the money, because nothing says man of the people like taking £15,000 from a donor linked to private health firms, while actively shaping NHS policy. Receipts. In 2023, Wes accepted donations from hedge funders and donors with stakes in private care. Labour has refused to commit to reversing the 2012 Health and Social Care Act, leaving the door wide open for outsourcing. This ain't a health policy, it's a privatisation playlist, and Wes is DJing it with corporate backing. And don't forget, he didn't just inherit a broken system, he walked into it with a hammer. The gaslighting of a nation. Here's the bit that really fries the circuits. Wes still claims the NHS will remain free at the point of use. Oh, how generous. The illusion of care, wrapped in a branding slogan. But what they don't tell you is, just because something's free at the point of use, doesn't mean it wasn't sold behind your back. Receipts. Labour's platform avoids mention of repealing major Tory health reforms, has not ruled out future health partnerships with profit-based providers, continues to support digital-first GP models, often delivered via private apps. This is like saying the library's free, but every book is locked behind a subscription. Streeting's NHS is still public, just in name, not in nature. What's already changing? Wes officially has a big boy job. Let's look at what's happening right now. Fallout. Private hospitals are being offered NHS contracts with fewer restrictions. Diagnostic hubs run by profit-driven firms are being fast-tracked. Reports suggest junior doctor and nurse pay reform is off the table, but contracts for private services, on tap. Under Wes, public healthcare isn't being saved, it's being sublet, and he's handing the keys to the very people who broke the windows in the first place. He's like a landlord who promises to renovate your flat, but keeps replacing your furniture with IKEA loaners from Amazon Prime Healthcare. What love looks like. Wes says he loves the NHS, but I need everyone to hear me when I say, love doesn't lease, love doesn't monetize, love doesn't outsource. The NHS is not a brand, it is a promise, and Wes Streeting is out here handing that promise over to the same corporations that see your medical needs as market opportunities. This isn't health reform, it's healthcare gentrification. You can't heal a nation with a spreadsheet. If it smells like profit and walks like a lobbyist, it's not public service. Next up, Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, or iron-fisted bookkeeper of Britain's broken economy. Get ready for budget cuts in heels and a treasury that looks more like a hedge fund. Until then, stay loud, stay laced, and keep your eyes on the contracts. Because Wes already sold the cure. Stay tuned for a quick message from our sponsors.
Therapist Starter Pack. Licensed in vibes only. Rice and Peas Candle Co. Scent from Granny Kitchen. If your house don't smell like Sunday, don't invite me. Limited edition scents include oxtail, curry goat, and passive-aggressive silence.